Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be discussing on potential cornerback free agent signings that the Texans could go after. And as y'all know, the Texans already made two big signings. They got Terrence Mitchell and they got Desmond King. And there has been rumors for the past few weeks that Bradley Roby could be cut, obviously because of his PED kind of suspension, kind of put on him and the Texans in bad waters or whatever. So who knows? He might be cut. There is some cap savings to be made if Roby is cut, so that could be a potential thing. But some other cornerback free agents that the Texans could go after. First one being Casey Hayward, and so. As you all know, Casey Hayward is a veteran in this league. He's 31 years old, and he's played with Desmond King in the past. So obviously those two have good chemistry together. And Casey Hayward, he's been to the Pro Bowl 2 times in his career, and his last season isn't the greatest. He only had one interception, and he had 41 combined tackles, 36 solo tackles, 5 assisted tackles, and in tackling wise, his tackling was very terrible last season. He missed 18% of his tackles last season, so that's not the greatest. And but completions percentage, he only allowed 49.4%, which is pretty good, I guess, in 14 games played. And then in his career, he's been pretty healthy. Only in 2013, he only played 3 games, but everything else, he's played 16 games in this past season. He played 14 games, so pretty good job at staying healthy. And he allowed 631 yards in 14 games last season, so not the best in his career. Obviously, he's 31 years old, but could be a solid veteran signing for this team, a guy who could coach up the other young guys on our roster. So, what do you think about a potential Casey Hayward signing?
Yeah, he's obviously regressed in the past season or two. As you said, he'd probably come in with that veteran leadership, um, help coach up maybe a rookie cornerback who could draft in the draft. Yeah, he'll probably be a cornerback maybe number 3 for us behind, if we were to keep Roby, he'll probably be behind Roby and maybe Terrence Mitchell. I don't think he would start right away unless someone got hurt. But yeah, maybe like a 1 year, maybe $3 million type of deal. I don't think anybody's really going to offer him too much unless you're like a contender who really need a cornerback. But yeah, Casey Hayward would be I guess, solid signing for us. The second cornerback I would like to talk about is Kevin King. He formerly played with the Green Bay Packers. In 2017, he played 9 years. He had 28 combination tackles, 22 solo tackles, 1 tackle for loss, with 5 passive defense. So, I mean, I guess for 9 games, it's pretty solid for a cornerback. And in 2018, he played 6 games only, so it's less games than the previous year. He had 17 combination tackles, 14 solo tackles, 1 tackle for loss, with 1 fumble recovery and 2 passive defense. So, I mean, I guess stat-wise, it kind of went down in terms of tackles, but he did have a fumble recovery. And in 2019, he played 15 games. He had 5 interceptions, which was probably his best year as a pro. He had 66 combination tackles, 56 solo tackles, 10 assisted tackles, and 3 tackles for losses. So yeah, that's 100% his best year as a pro in 2019. And in 2018, he only played 11 games. He had 0 interceptions. He had 57 combination tackles, 45 solo tackles, 12 assisted tackles, and 0 tackle for losses. So it was kind of a down year, I guess. In terms of coverage wise, I guess. He only had 5 passing defense. I feel like if we were to sign him, he'd probably be that, I guess, backup slot cornerback behind Desmond King. Or maybe he could probably start on the outside as cornerback number 2 or number 3 maybe. Considering that we're playing zone and it's not going to be man-to-man, he's not going to have to play that big, tough, physical receiver like maybe like that DK Metcalf or that Julio Jones. He's not going to have to face one of the bigger receivers. So I feel like he would be a solid signing. Maybe like a cheap 1 year, similar to Desmond King, probably the exact deal, 1 year, $3.25 million contract. What do you think about Kevin King?
Yeah, Kevin King. Obviously, some may notoriously know him about his play in the NFC Championship game. But honestly, he did pretty good in the past 2 seasons. Obviously, he's getting better. So And his completion percentage is okay. I mean, he allowed 63.2% in 11 games, and then he was targeted 57 times. So obviously, his quarterback rating though is only 96.2, so pretty solid stats. He's going to be like a good corner, like you said. I think he'll probably be kind of that cornerback. He could be cornerback number two, maybe cornerback number three. Probably won't be played in the slot as much. He plays on the right side, so obviously he would be a solid signing, like you said. In the contract wise, I'm surprised that Casero got Desmond King for 1 year, $3.5 million. Maybe he gets something similar, but he missed 17.4% of his tackles last season. So obviously, I kind of like prefer guys who are good at wrapping guys up, who are solid tacklers. But I'm sure those are fundamentals that can be fixed, so it won't be too much of an issue. Obviously, Kevin King would be a solid signing. I don't think any Texans fan should hate on it. Yeah, like you said, all of the points I agree with, contract and everything. All right, next player we're going to talk about is Quinton Dunbar. Obviously, you might know him from that little incident that he had with money and a gun or whatever, but Quinton Dunbar, obviously solid guy. In 2020 he only played 6 games, so we're not going to really talk about that. He had 30 combined tackles last year, and he did have 1 interception in 6 games, so that's pretty good in 6 games. And he's 28 years old, so completion percentage wise, he allowed 64.8%, so that's around the same as Kevin King, obviously, and he's a better tackler than Kevin King if we're comparing guys. He only misses 11.8% of his stuff, so obviously more of a sound tackler. But in 2019, that was arguably his best season. He only allowed a 61.2 quarterback rating in 2019, and then in 2020 he did worse. He allowed 111 quarterback rating, so not that great. But obviously there is some promise to Quinton Dunbar. He has his shining moments of some flashes, I would say, and he has the ability to get interceptions. 2019, he did have 4 interceptions, so pretty good turnover machine. So I wouldn't mind the signing. Obviously, contract-wise, I think something similar that we've all been saying, like 1 year, $4 million. We only have $8 million in the cap, so not much we can do there unless we cut guys or restructure guys. But what do you think about Quinton Dunbar?
Yeah, Quinton Dunbar could probably come in, as you said, be that maybe number 2, number 3 cornerback. I think he's kind of up there in age, like 28, 29-ish, if I'm not mistaken. He could probably start most of the games for us, behind Terrence Mitchell, probably. He could probably, I guess, sort of in a way bring veterans leadership. I'm not sure if it's too much of a leader, considering what he did last year, but I mean, and in terms of football sense, yeah, I would love Quinton Dunbar, maybe like 1 year, as I said, for maybe $3 million deal. I don't think he's getting too many offers right now, so we'll probably get him cheaper. But yeah.
And that pretty much wraps up the video. Let us know your thoughts on these potential cornerbacks. Do you have a cornerback in mind that we haven't mentioned? And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Thank you all for watching. Peace.